And we're also joined by Courtney Glass from Bank of the James.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thanks for being here. Before we start talking about more serious topics, we were talking about movies there in the previous segment. So what's your favorite movie that you've seen recently?
I have to say it was Tyler Perry's Netflix movie. It was Straw.
Oh, okay.
And it was focused on mental health and just that whole, it was based on just one day in the life of this woman, a single mom, and how her day started off and how we can all be that close to a mental break at any point. And it was just really eye-opening, for sure.
Now, that sounds like new ground for Tyler Perry, because I think of like the Medea movies and that sort of thing. It sounds a little more serious.
Yes, he's sort of been changing over to that here lately. He's had several Netflix movies that he's produced, and it's more of a serious tone. So I'm really enjoying this from him.
Well, very good. All right, so let's talk about home equity lines of credit versus home equity loans. So a HELOC, if you hear that, that's home equity line of credit. Can you give us basically, how do those work for people if they want to use them? What do people use them for, that sort of thing?
Sure. Typically, home equity lines of credit, there's many different reasons you would want one, need one, could use one. Many times people are using those for home improvements. That's pretty much the number one reason why people would take out a home equity line of credit. Also for college expenses. And recently I've been seeing a lot with elder care, having to take care of an older parent and trying to find the means to do so. And they're using the home equity line of credit to do it.
And so could you use that, say, if you wanted to put in an extra room? Maybe if mom was moving in, you give her own room or something like that.
Absolutely.
Tell them 7:45, Anthony, if you would. We've got a couple of guests coming up in the next segment here. So then a home equity loan, what do people use that for?
Same thing. Typically, what I'm seeing a lot of is they'll take out a home equity line of credit because that gives you the ability to draw on the line as you need it so that you're not taking a lump sum and making payments on the full amount right away. And then once they finish any renovations that they've done or whatever they particularly needed it for, they like to term it out into a fixed rate and payment.
All right, so then a HELOC would have a floating rate and a home equity loan would have a fixed rate.
Correct.
And broadly speaking, where are those rates right now?
So on a home equity line of credit, it is variable, so it can change anytime prime changes. Right now, we're looking at about 7.25% to 7.5% on the home equity lines of credit. Home equity loans, they are determined by the term, how long you want to finance that loan for. And so they start at 6.25 and they can go up to 9.24, just of course on the lower end for a shorter term and on the higher end for a 20-year fixed.
And do those fluctuate with interest rates? I mean, are they tied to the prime plus or something like that?
The home equity line of credit is tied to prime. So it's usually somewhere around prime minus 1/4 to actual prime on that home equity line of credit. On the home equity loan, since we are a community bank, we pretty much guide it with a team of executives that decide when we're going to change rates on those.
Okay, so now and just as long as you've mentioned that as being a local bank and not someone where the boss is in Charlotte or something like that, not to take a shot at any bank there. Are all of you have all these decisions made locally? I mean, maybe it's not just numbers. Maybe you've got something. Hey, you can make your own case, your own story, and you've got that personal relationship.
Absolutely. So that's what Bank of the James is all about, is relationship. Yes, we'll do transactions as well, but the hope is that we are actually getting to know our clients and know what their plans are, what their future plans are, so that in the right now. Yes, they may need they have a particular need, but we're planning for the future, not just for now.
And so let me go back to HELOCs here. Do you get people, they'll open up and just have sort of the drawing rights, if you will, and just sort of leave it there until they need it? Is there any advantage to having one and leaving it open and just having it there in your name rather than just getting one immediately when you need it or anything like that?
Absolutely. Being a homeowner, I have found out that things pop off. At any moment, heat pump goes bad and you have to replace it, or dishwasher, anything. Well, with a home equity line of credit, since we do have to take a deed of trust out and your home has to get evaluated or appraised, that takes time. But if you already have it in place, such as where we're in this heat wave and we need our heat pumps, you would want that in place
Yeah,
now
that's a
instead
good
of having
point.
to wait, about 30 days from application to closing to get access to the funds.
And so, do I take is the full amount that you have access to tied to the level of equity you have in your home? Is it more tied to the value of the home?
Yes, it's tied to the value of the home, but it's also, up to the individual how much of a line they want to have out there extended on their home. So yes, we have loan to value ratios that we work with, and that also helps to determine what that variable rate is going to be.
And what percentage of people, this is maybe a little in the weeds as far as homeowners, will use a HELOC at some point? I mean, it sounds like it's incredibly versatile as far as what
Absolutely.
you might use it for.
We are doing home equity lines of credit all day long.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So again, people are having it for different reasons, and many times I think of it as a spare tire.
Right.
You're not thinking you're going to have to use it, but when you do need to use it, you want it to be there and readily available.
Well, and on that, with HELOCs, and this may be something it requires more research, but we've had a difficult housing market with not having enough houses on the market, to satisfy the demand for some time. Are there people who are staying in their houses longer? Maybe you make that decision. Okay, we thought we might move to this neighborhood here, but since we're going to be in this house, we want another room. We want more space. That kind of thing.
Sure. So property values have gone up exponentially,
point.
in the last 2-3 years. And so, but with that has come high interest rates on those mortgage loans that we were getting, 2.75% on a fixed 30-year back, 4 or 5 years ago. So a lot of people are locked into that lower rate, and it's hard to say goodbye to that when it's going to double when you move to a new home.
Yeah, maybe easier if you've got a new kid on the way. Easier to
Absolutely.
expand your home rather than try to give up on that loan. Yeah, that's a good point. Now I've got probably the most important question here.
Sure.
What is it like having to put up with Jimmy Davis all the time?
Eeks. I don't know what to say. Oh.
It's a safe space. You can say whatever you want.
I don't
Nobody's
feel
listening.
safe.
Come
I
on.
don't feel safe. I have to face him later today. No, I love Jimmy. He is amazing. He does really great with our community in networking. So he's awesome. But yes, I do give him a hard time whenever I can.
Well, he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah.
But
sure.
he's not exactly a terror
Right.
to put up with or anything, is he? So let me ask you this. With Bank of the James, we talk about it being a local bank and everything like that. I mean, is there any part of that especially appeals to you as far as what you all do in the community? I mean, do you like whether it's supporting the Hillcats or it's the Boys and Girls Club or things like that? What especially is big for you?
Well, we have several organizations that we dedicate time to in our community as well as funding. For me, I've just recently started, really speaking into the community and financial literacy workshops, things like that, just to step out there so that people are aware of what we offer at Bank of the James and what opportunities are out there for financing. So, definitely anytime we can help our community move forward and progress, that's awesome. So.
All right, very good. Well, we will leave it there. Courtney Glass with Bank of the James. Find them online at bankofthejames.bank. If you need a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan, they've got the products for you. Courtney, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. You have a great rest of your day.